is. Countdown to ignition. 3, 2, 1. Go straight. Oh! Boom! Dude! Came back to it. Wow. Lamar Bunting, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too, man.
Boy, we have been blessed with a beautiful day here at Lake Overcup.
That's correct, Lake Overcup.
Tell me a little bit about this lake.
Man, it's a pretty special little lake. Not a real big lake, but has pretty good size to it. A lot of good fish have come out of this lake. Our Central Arkansas Crappie Club has fished this lake for several years, and it's kind of been one of our exciting lakes to get ready to come to. Now that the Livescope technology is out, it actually has some records set on it.
Yeah.
As far as lake records in our club. And man, we've caught some big old crappie out of this thing.
Well, it's a pleasure to be fishing with you today. And speaking of record breaking, can you tell us a little bit about last weekend at Grenada and the success that you had?
Man, Grenada was a blast. Man, it was almost unexplainable down there. I mean, to think, almost 43 pounds is what it took on 14 crappie to win, which my guys at the Bass Tank, Zeke, Dylan Hackler, I mean, those are two of my good buddies, and if I'm gonna lose, I mean, I love to lose it to them for sure.
Yeah.
But man, that lake there, those boys put up, I think, 42.8, 42.9
Yeah.
on 14 crappie.
Yeah.
I mean, you're carrying over a 3-pound average.
Okay, good. Cause I'm not good at fancy math. I was trying to do it in my head. I'm like 2.9, 3.1.
Yeah, and I think it was over 3 pounds, like 3.06 average. I mean, which is, man, that's unheard of in the crappie world.
Now, speaking of unheard of, you caught a pretty nice crappie yourself down there, did you not?
I did. My personal best was 356 out of Arkansas. Went down there and the Lord blessed me with a 378.
Wow, and you took home big fish money.
We did. We took home the big fish
Oh,
money.
man. Congratulations. And how'd you end up overall?
Overall, we ended up in 14th. We were sitting in 22nd or 23rd on day one, and we ended up catching a little over 19.5, 19.6 on day two. To put us up into 13th place overall, which was, I mean, definitely a good battle back. Man, kind of a heartbreaker for me. I had been on 20 to 21 pound stringers every day in Grenada. Caught 8 fish over 3 pounds pre-fishing down.
What is it like when you have a stringer like that and you're going in? Because I know you've got to think, hey, I got this. Am I right?
Man, I'm going to be honest with you.
Did you think that? Or
I knew just from what I had been doing pre-fishing that we definitely wasn't going to have it. Just because, I mean, the fish I had been catching were so much better and so good, than what we had caught, definitely during tournament day. Now, to think we'd be sitting in the top of the 20 pack with, 19 pounds, I mean, that's strong. I mean, but that's why Grenada's the #1 crappie lake in the world. I mean, she showed why she's #1 and
home with the 3-pounders.
I mean, exactly.
Home with the 3-pounders.
It's unreal, man, to think what that lake has. But, with 4 years of high flooding, it definitely contributed to those fish getting different age class on them.
Less pressure.
A lot less pressure on them. We were down there, I think it was 2019 when it was 20, 21 foot high. I mean, there was 10 foot of water 100 yards through the woods. Yeah. So when those fish can get away like that and get age on them, get size on them, and not get a lot of pressure, it makes for a turnout like this year. It does.
And what was the atmosphere like? Was everybody just
Man,
crazy,
I would say,
happy?
Yeah, I would say that that's probably the most energy I've ever seen at a tournament, because man, when you walking up there and guys are throwing up 20 pounds, 21 pounds, 19s, 18s. I mean, it's like every boat had it.
Yeah, just wow moments.
Yeah, I mean, it's unreal,
every way. And
it was a phenomenal weekend for sure, to say the least.
All right, Lamar, I'm very excited to fish this lake, Overcup Lake. Is that correct?
That is correct. We're in Overcup in Arkansas.
All right, and what poles are we going to be using?
Today we're going to bring back kind of the old faithfuls, man. I've a trolling die hard, and Livescope kind of had thought everybody was going to kill the long poles, but Man, we're gonna bring the 16-foot B&M BGJPs back in action, and we're gonna make a big wave with them this year. And we're gonna have a lot of fun with them and show guys that the 16-foot trolling pole is not dead. It is the thing, and I think a lot of guys are gonna be amazed at how much better bait control you do have with the longer pole. When you're on spooky fish with a longer 16-foot rod, it's a lot easier to control your baits and place your baits exactly where you want them as to work with the shorter poles. You're trying to get the boat on top of them. Now you don't have to do that anymore. You can keep the boat off of them, use a longer rod, and stay on top of the fish a lot better.
And not spook them.
And not spook them. That's the big deal.
I got you.
A big reason that I've actually kind of stumbled into this was in Louisiana for Crappie Masters on Lake D'Arbonne just a month ago. Water temperature had dropped real hard. It's when we had all the snow and big ice that kind of blowed in on us. Took water temperature out of the mid-50s and dropped it down to the low to mid-30s. Well, with that happening, it basically shocked the fish and put them in a real sluggish pattern. Well, they didn't want to chase anything. You couldn't cast to them. They were just kind of dead in the water, for say. Just real sluggish, wouldn't move, didn't want to chase anything. You had to put it on their nose and hold it. Well, long story short, I pulled out a 16-foot BGJP, and I went with a 1/32 ounce little hair jig and a weight above it, and went to dropping it on top of their nose and just holding it there and went to catching fish. Well, long story short, that's how we ended up taking second place out of 113 boat field on Lake D'Arbonne, was with a 16-foot BGJP.
Trial and error.
It is.
You never truly solve the crappie puzzle,
no,
do you?
You don't, man. You learn something. If you don't learn every time you're on the water, you're missing out, because I promise you, there's something to learn every day on the water if you pay attention to your surroundings. I promise you.
All right, Lamar, what kind of knot are we tying right now?
This here would be basically just a standard cinch knot, basically what my grandpa taught me from a little kid, growing up how to tie my first knot. So basically what you got is just a jig head. You run your line through the jig head.
Okay.
And what I do is I take it and I just kind of twist it in my hands.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll put me about 6 to 7 turns in it.
Okay.
When I get, say, 7 turns deep,
yeah,
I'll take it and I'll come back through here.
All right.
Now you've got your line through there.
I see that.
Well, now you've got this extra hole behind you.
And you just hit that.
Take that tag line, stick it through there, and then you got your knot.
Nice.
And then you can kind of pull it to that point, and I'll kind of wet it. That keeps the friction down on it, so when you pull it down, it doesn't burn your line and make it kind of weak at that knot where it won't burn and break on you.
I got you.
I just snug it up. And that tag line, I'm a pet peevist, so that's got to come off. Some guys leave it hanging and they catch fish with it. So I mean, it's not a have to, but just for my liking, take a little pair of fingernail clippers and I'll get it pretty short. Flip it off.
Thank you for sharing that. That looks like a pretty simple thing with a little bit of practice.
Yes, sir, it is, for sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Lamar, we have been given some incredible conditions here. It is literally dead calm. And boat control really isn't truly an issue today. But when it is, it looks like you are prepared. Can you tell me about the setup of this incredible Ranger boat?
Man, once again, man, I mean, boat control is the name of the game now. I mean, between the Garmin and your boat control is definitely what you have to do to present your baits, to stay on fish, to catch them. Slick water is, I would say, no wind conditions. Yeah, of course, it's great fishing. For, a lot of people love it when days the wind don't blow. To me, the fish are a little spookier because they can feel the pressure of the boat. They definitely can hear trolling motors, under that. With the technology we've got now, we can see that. So me personally, I prefer some wind. And this boat is set up to fight the wind, of course. 101 pound thrust, trolling motor on the front. On the back of the boat is where kind of all the magic happens, I would say. You've got a set of 10-foot power pole blades with drift paddles on it. That's one form of boat control, boat drift control. You're in less than 9 foot of water. It is also an anchor device. You can drop them in the mud, stop your boat on the spot. But the biggest, question that I do receive at your local gas station or your local boat ramp is, man, what are these trolling motors on the back of your boat? What are you doing with 3 trolling motors on the boat? And that's the biggest question that I do get. And basically what I done was, is a good buddy of mine, Terry Stewart out of Mississippi, I mean, long-time B&M guy, man. He's a lot of success, a lot of respect for him and his son, man, and his daughter. She fishes with him. Man, they've been a strong force in Mississippi for many years now. You know, big idols of mine before I got hooked up with the B&M Pro Staff deal and, you know, got into the B&M family. He's got a Ranger 522, just like Caps and Coleman have fished out of for years, myself now. And he's had 2 trolling motors on the back of it. And we used to kind of giggle, you know, about the trolling motors on the back, and we just didn't realize what was actually going on with those trolling motors on the back of the boat. Man, basically what I've done now is talking to him and another buddy, Danny Rogers, that helped me out with the design I've got on the back of my boat here. We've taken 2 Minn Kota Edge, they're bow mount trolling motors, a bow mount bracket, but they're actually a handheld trolling motor. And what you do with them is I place them in the back of the boat, I deploy them, put them in the water, and I point them in the direction I want them to pull the boat. But what happens is, as you can see in this boat here, I have a switch. And this here is a momentary switch. And what you do is when I deploy that switch down, it feeds power to both of the trolling motors on the back of the boat. And in return, when I do that, it pulls my boat backwards. So if I'm on the top of a fish and it's getting too close, or if I'm fighting wind, needing to stay off a fish, I can use this button down here with the twin trolling motors in the back and pull my boat away from the fish, or I can hold my boat against the wind to stay off of the fish in return. Right. And if you've got spooky fish, I can take my boat and I can turn with the wind and I can drift with the wind now, and I'm not making any slapping from the wind hitting the nose of the boat. I'm putting the wind to my back, I'm dragging my drift paddles, and I'm taking my trolling motors, and I'm using them to slow my drift speed down and keep my boat off of the fish and catch them, basically floating with the wind. And a day like today, when there's no wind, I can turn my trolling motor up higher on the front of the boat and pull my boat quick. But when I find a fish, instead of blowing over him, I can turn those trolling motors on in the back of the boat and pull my boat backwards and stop it to catch the fish and then move on. So,
are you sure you want to tell all these incredible secrets to everybody?
Man, I'll be honest with you, Curb. I mean, that's what we're here for, man. I mean, we're here to share the knowledge, to share, you know, what we've got going on, to share why we've been successful for sure.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, that's what this whole sport is about, is growing the sport, getting more people involved, getting these guys out here fishing, man. And I mean, you know, just having a big good time with everybody, man. I mean, us crappie guys, we're probably some of the most shareable information guys, you know, in the fishing industry when it comes to this stuff, because I mean, we like to have fun, we like to catch fish, and we like to get as many people involved in this so we can chase these bass guys, and hopefully, whether it's my generation or generations behind us, we can get some of these kids out here growing up to do this stuff, and they can make a living at it like the bass guys are now. You know, we're kind of chasing behind the bass clubs and, you know, the big payouts the bass tournaments have, but I mean, we're on the right track. We just got to keep everybody involved, keep everybody positive, and keep this ball rolling, and it will turn into something very special over the years, I promise you.
Lamar, I can't thank you enough for that. I mean, sharing your knowledge and most importantly, promoting the sport. Thank you so much.
Man, you're welcome, Kurt. That's what we're here for, brother. Once again, I mean, that's why I do it, man. It's for the love of it for sure, but man, I love to see people get out involved in the sport of it. And I love to see new faces in the crowds. I love to see the weigh-ins growing and the crowds growing. And I mean, the whole momentum is in our ballpark right now. And I mean, it's the time to where we can really take this thing to the next level and make it a really big deal for all of the crappie guys that are doing it and the generations coming up for sure.
What about you, man? What's your favorite way of cooking these crappie?
Man, me personally, I'm a 10 to 12 inch crappie guy.
Yeah.
And I like
those eat the best.
I do personally.
Okay.
I mean, I do.
Yeah.
I like the 10 to 12 inch crappie. I like to take mine in Louisiana fish fry.
Okay.
In the blue bag.
Yeah.
That's what I like to use.
Just that it?
And well, I'll take that, and I'll take just a little bit of mustard. And I'll wipe a little bit of mustard on each side of the fillet.
Okay.
And then I'll roll it in that Louisiana fish fry.
Okay.
And then if I'm gonna cook them and you ain't using peanut oil, to me, you're not doing them no justice by a long shot.
$3.75 or
$3.75 to that $3.50 range is where I like to do mine.
Get that oil at.
Exactly.
Okay.
Get it in that range there. like I said, those smaller fillets, man, you can drop them, and they come out with that good crispy edge, the little old crispy tails on them, and I mean, that's the ideal for me.
Dude, you're getting me hungry. I love it. I love it. Oh, look at that. There's a crappie right there.
That's what we call a classic swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss.
What we call
We
that.
went right over her back. She didn't see it. But we're not giving up on her, are we?
Nah, we're gonna get these back up there. We'll get her line back up.
Oh, there it is. Countdown to ignition. 3, 2, 1. Go straight. Oh! Boom! Dude! Came back to it. Wow. Nice fish. Nice fish.
That there is me personally.
Yeah. Best eating size.
That's my eating fish all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, that there is 10 and a half, 11 and a half inch fish, about 10 and a half, 10 and a half, 11 inch fish. I mean, that fish there is probably about 0.80, 0.90.
Yeah.
Just right at a pound fish. I mean, if you're eating fish and you're frying fish, throw them big fish back, and I mean, take you a mess of these 10, 11 inch fish, man. They're going to fry up better. They're going to eat better.
Cook more thoroughly than those big thick
do.
steaks
Exactly.
that you get off those big crappie.
Yeah, those big crappie, man, I mean, they're just not made for frying, in my opinion.
Yeah.
My wife, she's big into the gym, big into the health and fitness deal.
Yeah.
If I catch big crappie and she wants them, I'll take them and I'll fillet them. But what she does is she takes them and she takes Cavenders
Okay.
and garlic powder.
Yeah.
She hits the fillet with garlic powder on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
She comes back with Cavenders
Yeah.
and coats them in Cavenders.
Okay.
And then she'll take her a skillet with olive oil, just a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of it.
Uh-huh.
And she'll blacken them on both sides.
Okay.
And put them on a bed of white rice.
Ooh.
And now that there is something, if you like to catch big crappie and you just can't make yourself throw them back and you want to fillet them,
Yeah.
that would be a recipe I would say definitely try with them for sure.
Almost kind of like a
blackened crappie,
but
exactly.
with that Cavenders.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And, man, that right there is phenomenal also.
You're gonna have me cooking like a fool.
Man, that's what it's all about, Kirby.
That is what it's about. That is what... I could do this all day, couldn't you?
Oh yeah, this is definitely the life for sure. I mean, getting out here chasing these fish with these garments, and I mean, man, it's a blast. It is.
It is a blast. You must have a pretty understanding family because you obviously have spent a lot of time on the water. I think we've made 6 casts. You've caught 5 fish.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your family.
Man, I definitely have a very good support core.
Yeah.
My wife, Portia, she's very understanding.
Yeah. How funny is her name's Portia and you're in the car business?
Exactly.
Too.
Exactly. That's what.
You love cars.
Exactly.
Good quality cars,
exactly,
too.
high end for sure.
Yeah, Porsche.
Like I said, but she's definitely understanding. I mean, like I said, she lets me travel all over the country chasing these crazy fish. Man, I mean, I've got a lot of buddies that see her out in town and stuff, and they said, you know, man, he's lucky that you let him run as much as you do. But I'm very blessed. Like I said, she's a good woman. She holds the house down for me while I'm gone. She takes care of my daughter and my son, Akaya and Kylan.
And they're athletes, right?
They are.
I've seen some of your Facebook posts. Yep. They're in tournaments, traveling all across the country.
Yeah, we run. My wife. Well, I say we. My wife runs a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot with both of them. Like I said, my daughter, she plays softball. She plays for Conway High School.
Yeah.
My son, he plays basketball and football. He plays for Morrilton. And both of them athletes. Both of them are very talented kids.
Yeah.
I mean, man, I'm blessed all the way around. My mom, she's understanding.
Yeah.
But she's I've had this love for fishing since I was, a little bitty kid and grew up doing with my grandpa.
Yeah. Your grandpa's the one that got you started?
My grandpa is the one who's got me started, and grew up on Lake Conway in Conway, Arkansas. Jigging cypress trees with a 10-foot B&M jig pole is what we grew up fishing with on cypress trees.
Yeah.
Fishing green live cypress trees on Lake Conway in the spring and in the summer. And that's basically where the love of the crappie fishing started, was with him, chasing crappie with a single pole and sculling out the front of a boat with a paddle.
You definitely are a blessed man, and we are blessed for you to share all this information and this great time with me, man. Thank you so much.
I've had a blast for sure, brother. I mean,
Lamar
it's been
Bunting.
Fun. And, like I said, man, anything we can do to promote the sport and, like I said, get them out active and get them chasing these crappie for sure.
Yeah, man. Let's get him back in the water.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful fish. Lamar Bunting, thank you once again.
Man, thank you, Kirby, for sure, brother.
Thank you so much for watching Fish, Eat, Live. Our mission is to demonstrate the benefits of the Fish, Eat, Live lifestyle. We look forward to educating, entertaining, and attracting you to the healthy lifestyle of the great outdoors. We're definitely going to have some wholesome family fun on the water every Sunday at 6 p.m. So hit that subscription and that notification bell, because we want you to come be a part of this.